But keep,
We have a Steve. I don't know who Steve is. Okay, so I started the recording. And I will call to order the Braintree Selectboard regular meeting for Tuesday, April 7th. It's 6:01. I think we'll do citizens' comments and then we're gonna do some rearranging. Because Lauren has like 2 pages of notes.
Oh, we just stop.
Well, I guess we gotta wait on, before we wait on Megan.
For Tom, yeah, I think we should try and wait on Megan,
Okay.
just because she'll wanna hear.
Okay, and Linda Lubold is not gonna come in, so we won't have a word report tonight.
These are printed copies of the lime green quote that I sent out today.
Okay.
If anybody
you.
needs it.
We didn't get through a chair. Oh, hey, there's a rolling chair you can sit in.
Oh,
There's a comfy chair that is.
Oh, this is a little-
I'm good right here, just.
well, I'm gonna move it next to you just in case things get rough.
Is this your Steve on here? Yeah. Okay,
Thanks, I didn't really that.
okay, so. We need to approve the minutes from the March 10th. That should be what, March 17th meeting?
Correct.
So that's a mistake there, but we need to approve the minutes from the March 17th regular meeting. Did anybody have any notes or comments?
I do not.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve.
Second,
All those in favor?
I,
Aye for me, and the ayes have it. Because we're gonna wait on one more person, we'll go on to citizens' comments. Steve, are you here for citizens' comments, or are you here for something else later on?
Easier for the heat.
Okay. We had 2 things come up in citizens' comment. One was an email from someone on Bent Hill Road who was writing to ask the town to enforce the rule of no ATVs in the roadway on Bent Hill. It said the nightly ATV traffic on Bent Hill Road has started up again after the winter. They came 2 summers ago to ask the town to enforce the ATV ban on the roadway. There was a temporary pause in the nightly occurrence, but unfortunately it has resumed. The problem with this is, I don't know how, I'll have to read the ordinance on how we enforce it.
well, there's no,
It's,
they're not allowed to drive on that road.
Right, they're limited to only the trails that are marked.
I'll see if I can pull up the ordinance.
So I don't know what we do other than call state police and tell them to patrol. So I'll let Lou look for the ordinance. We'll come back to that. I want, on another note, I got an email from Tim Caulfield about the town meeting warning. And it kind of made sense to me, so I wanted to bring it up. I know we're like a year away from doing this again, but he said the way the warning was worded with the special appropriations, it just said basically flat out, does the town approve a special appropriation of 18,000 for the library? But it didn't give context to that. And somebody brought this up in our informational meeting, and they said, why are we asking about this? What's the background? And we explained that it was being increased, right?
Are you asking me?
No, I'm just saying, I'm just sort of,
Yes.
and then
Yeah, I can't remember who it was though.
I didn't know the guy. He lives on Murphy Road, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Tim said, if possible, next year, it would be nice to see it as should the appropriation be increased from 15,000 to 18,000, because his thought was if you just say, should it be 18,000 and nobody asks any questions and it gets voted on and people say no, the library gets nothing. it doesn't revert to 15,000, it goes to zero. Am I incorrect on that?
Oh, you're correct.
Yeah.
So, but if you put that in there to say, should it increase from 15 to 18, someone has the option to amend the article to say, no, we don't want to do that, we'll keep it at 15, and the library has to deal.
Right, isn't the option always to amend though?
Yeah, but if they
You were
don't,
saying like it seems clearer to ask it that way.
yeah, but if they don't know that
Yeah.
it's increased, like they would have to have read through the line items of the budget
And
from
see
last
that
year,
is
and people
increased.
aren't necessarily gonna do that. Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of minor, but I think we're in it all the time and we know the policy and we know why it's there and we know what we're doing, but unless we explicitly say it to people or they explicitly ask questions, they don't know what's going on necessarily. Yeah, go ahead.
I think there's no harm in being more specific, but
Mhm.
also. I just wanna point out that all the articles on the warning passed unanimously.
I know.
Except for one, so.
I know, and I think,
It wasn't really like, it didn't end up resulting in an article getting voted down,
and I think this is just Tim being a little
yeah.
extremely cautious, but it kind of makes sense to me, right? If nothing else, for the fact that we did have questions about it. Yeah. So anyway, but again, it's an email I got. We said we are gonna read them and decisions coming. So there you go. I have voiced Tim's concerns. Anybody else got citizens comments?
No.
Okey dokey.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
I'm not sure if now's the time to talk about this garage project or if that's later.
It's up to you. You can talk about it now, or you can wait till we get into it. We're gonna go there next, just for the sake of getting Tom, right? Getting
Well-
Tom out here.
I'll wait to hear your input then. Thanks.
Okay. So we have Megan, who's in charge of MERP here, and then Lou has been doing some work on getting other quotes and stuff, and we asked Tom Burden from Lime Green Heat to come tonight and talk about the pellet boiler proposal. Lou, I'll let you kind of run the show. I think you're in charge.
Great, thank you. I'm being Megan's like assistant here in the transition between her retirement as chair and still moving forward with our town garage heat project and the MERP funds that we've been granted to expend for that project. So Megan has done a lot of work to get the assessments done and to secure some quotes that we've had a lot of discussions about for weatherization and insulation of the building, and also for heating alternatives. We have a detailed proposal for a pellet heat system from Lime Green Heat. And we are in the process of, we're awaiting a heating proposal from Gillespie Propane, who did a site, Gillespie Fuels, who did a site visit last week. I talked with Steve again today. He's waiting for some equipment quotes. He thinks he'll have something within a couple of days for a firm quote on a comparable kind of system to that which Lime Green has proposed, meaning a boiler that serves a radiant floor and heats both the presently heated and the presently unheated spaces. We also had a site visit from Simple Energy from Lebanon. They informed me today that because of scheduling and logistics, they are not going to be providing us with a quote for a system. So we're down to just seeing what Gillespie comes up with. And as a result of Lime Green's detailed work on a proposal for us, we asked Tom to come here today to answer some questions and to tell us his thoughts about the system as well. So with that, Megan, do you want to say anything at this juncture?
Sure, so, I'll just provide a couple other updates. With Lou's help, we submitted the paperwork to the US Forest Service for the grant offered or administered through Vermont Department of Forests and Parks, for $25,000. And so Molly Willard from Forest and Parks has submitted that to the Forest Service on our behalf, and we're waiting to hear back on that. So that's in reference to the $25,000 incentive that's detailed in the scenario spreadsheet that we reviewed last time. And then it's also included in Tom's quote for the system as well. So it's deducted right from the total cost. So that's what that's in reference to, and that's rolling. Lou and I also had some follow-up discussion with VEIC related to the $6,000 rebate, as well as the rebates that would be associated with the weatherization work that we've contemplated for both the town office and the town garage. And after some back and forth, clarified that essentially, as long as we're spending more than what our MERP grant provides reimbursement for, that we would be eligible for those incentives. So, but if we were spending completely within the bounds of the MERP award, that we wouldn't be able to stack that funding. So just if we ended up not spending our full MERP award, we wouldn't be able to use those incentives because we can't stack them in that way, or we basically just squeeze everything out of the MERP before we can use those. But I think the scenarios that the board has contemplated, and it seems like is leaning towards or voted on at the last meeting, that wouldn't be the case. We would spend more.
None of that affects any of the numbers that Megan has given us in the past relative to spreadsheets.
Right, and the contract that, so just switching to the weatherization for 1 second, Paul should have sent you all a draft contract for the weatherization work. And that contractor, ACH Energy, would submit the rebate fund on behalf associated with that. Oh, those are my only update.
One more update.
Okay.
And that is that through the whole process of securing these bids and considering options for the town garage, there's been conversation around the need for ventilation, but we didn't really land that proposal or quote. We haven't landed that proposal or quote yet. So Lime Green Heat is going to provide us with an additional proposal for ventilation that would accompany their system. And we also had a person from Climate Systems in Williston come down last week and take a look at the building for a ventilation system exclusively. And he proposed an air exchange system, which is essentially one unit that will serve both bays with intake and exhaust. And the question is really the size of the unit. And there's some evaluation that needs to go on. If you approach it as an auto body shop, which is a commercial shop of similar size kind of thing, you need a certain amount of air exchange to accompany that. Ours is very different, and it's not really specified in any of the government specs. But without giving us a final quote, Climate Systems has said that they basically recommend a 1,200 CFM air exchanger that would cost $12,500, and the installation for that and parts and installation is about an additional $5,500. So a total of about $18,000 for a ventilation system is the best that we have right now. That is something we might want to you know, just keep in the back of our minds as we're considering any
But
system.
the ventilation system is required because of the radiant floor.
Correct.
So the only way to get away from the ventilation is to not have the radiant floor.
Yeah, I mean, although I think Lauren has reported that even, you know, without a radiant floor right now. In the winter, it's a sweatshop in there when, you know, the trucks come in and heat and.
There's also.
And probably air quality, yeah.
Yeah, but aside from that, you know, it's the moisture factor that's
Mhm.
just, you know, unbearable in there. And, you know, in getting a little bit more involved in all of this, you know, that's the way I'm looking at the whole approach, at the whole heating question is, we need a new concrete floor. So we're putting in a new concrete floor. While we're doing that,
Yeah.
do we take advantage of that moment and
With it
secure
all.
all the advantages of the radiant floor? Keep in mind too, we're gonna be weatherizing the building and sealing it up much more.
airtight.
So it's more airtight. than
Right
it
now,
is
it ventilates itself.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right now it ventilates itself and you can, Tom and I were in there yesterday, you can walk around and you can point at the rim joists.
Birds fly through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's, you know, so we're still gathering the final data to be able to make a final decision. I'll say one other thing that I learned during the site visits, which was very helpful to me. I was talking to the person from, Simple Energy in Lebanon after their site visit or during their site visit. And I just asked the ballpark question. I'm like, you know, if you put in a propane boiler, right, and with the radiant floor, et cetera, do you think like that would be cheaper, more expensive, or the same as basically the infrastructure needed for a pellet system? And his response was that, you know, it's gonna be, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen of another, right? Now, this is the person who ended up not quoting the job for us.
Right.
But, you know, that's something I just really want to know is, you know, how much more might we pay for one system over another, in addition to whatever the additional costs may be over time, installation wise.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question. How much is the propane usage gonna go up? Because right now all you're running is 2 blowers with the propane. So if you're heating more space and running a radiant floor, was there any indication of how much the propane usage would go up?
No, but I'm not like, I've been really wrestling with that and I sort of feel like we've got a lot of things going on. We're gonna use, if we just stick with propane, we're gonna use less propane because we're weatherizing the building, right? No matter what, right? Even if you just weatherize, close it up, insulate it, we're gonna use less propane, right? And you put in, you know, an efficient pellet boiler and, you know, what's the apples to apples comparison? So what I find most useful is to say, how many BTUs do you get per dollar?
Mhm.
Right? And, you know, and Tom has, you know, some thoughts that he might be able to.
Some information, because I know that you were sent this comparative pricing thing a few weeks back.
Yeah.
So, and you and I talked about the pricing was off the scale, which it is, because all of the pricing for all of fuels came from the New Hampshire state numbers, right? But what I did was I took your 2,246 gallons consumed, and I multiplied that at $1.75, which is perhaps expected to be big.
Yeah, and let me just say where that number comes from. Right now, we pay $1.59 a gallon for our propane
Because of
on our
contract.
bulk delivery that was set a year ago. When Steve from Gillespie was here the other day, I said, you know, if we were to sign up for a bulk contract today, what would we be paying? And he said he didn't have it exactly, but he knows that propane has gone up by about 15 cents since October, 15 cents a gallon. So if we were, you know, today, presumably and I asked Steve this and he said, yeah, you know, that's what you would probably be paying on a bulk contract right now. So that's where Tom's $1.75 a gallon propane comes from.
Right, and doing those calculations, converting things to BTUs, which is a way to make things fair, if you will.
Right.
There's 215,616,000 BTUs. out of that 2,246 gallons. That's what your output is.
That's what the propane gives.
Yeah, and essentially it's 96,000 BTU per gallon of propane, kind of a standard rate. I took that BTU number and I divided it by 16,500,000 BTU, which is the amount of energy in a ton of pellets. And that comes out to 13 tons. So 13.06 tons. And if I multiply it by your delivery cost of, I think, $393, that's $5,135 annual cost for the pellets versus $76.17 annual cost for the, which is actually gonna be higher than that because that was at the old price. The $76.17 is what was on the Nova Group's thing. Bigger than that, the propane system has an efficiency of 80%.
Mhm.
And if I take that 80% away from those BTUs, you're now talking about only 10.5 tons a year. And now you're talking about an annual savings of around $3,500, $3,600 every year. So
But the propane's not, or the pellets are not 100%, right? So
they're 95% efficient. The
does that
systems,
decrease over time in the boiler?
No.
Or,
they're
I
90,
mean, like a fuel oil boiler, when you first get it, it's like 85.
Yeah.
After 10 years, it's 75.
Right,
So
so the difference between the two is, well, two things. First of all, when you're talking about like an oil boiler, you're trying to light a liquid on fire, that doesn't go well. And generally, there's an annual maintenance that will replace nozzles or electrodes,
Right.
some part, maybe even a target wall, things like that. My pellet boilers are not designed that way. Pellets are very dry, 5%, 8% moisture.
Mhm.
So when they're actually, on fire, if you will, those pellets don't take a lot of energy to burn. You don't have to dry it. You don't
Right.
have to, light it, it's doing its thing. They gasify. So now once the pellet has burned, the gas is going to the secondary chamber, more air is added, and now my combustion temperatures, instead of 5,800, go to 1,600 degrees. I then go through a heat exchange passage, which is where I'm extracting my energy into the heat, into the water. And that heat exchanger has cleaners in it that automatically clean. So as long as you're keeping your heat exchangers clean all the time, your efficiency really doesn't go down. On the bottom end of that, once those pellets have been consumed and the boiler has said, I'm done working, it crushes them, it dumps them into the base, and then it opens up ready for a fresh load of pellets again. So every time you start an ignition with a fresh load of pellets. There's no pot, don't compare it, don't think of it like a pellet stove.
Mhm.
Those don't clean themselves. They burn the pellets and they exhaust everything. We exhaust virtually nothing out of the stack. On a cold day, you're gonna see some moisture,
Right.
but not a lot. That's really what you're getting out of it. Everything else is being left into the ash. And then that ash is extracted in a building like this, probably once a month is what we're guessing on this size building.
is that something we can do, or would that require?
That's something you would do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very easy. Lauren has no problem with it. It's like a suitcase that you pull off the front of the boiler. It's got wheels. You take it out and put it in your compost or what have you. And yeah, it's a very easy. I mean, that's really the only maintenance that you're putting into one of our boilers. There's no daily, weekly, nothing that you're doing to it.
Okay.
So there is a significant savings.
Can you go back again and tell me how you calculated the propane cost
I took the total number of gallons,
to 2246?
2246, and I multiplied it by 96,000.
Yeah,
That's the amount of energy
BTUs.
used. BTU, right. So that gave me 215,616,000 BTU.
yeah,
And I divided that by 16,500,000 BTU, which is the BTU equivalent of a ton of pellets. And then you can extract the efficiencies. So 80% on the propane, 95% on the pellets, and and of course the pricing. So in this case, I used $1.75. I
mhm,
didn't actually, I totaled that number up But your consumption last year, sorry, 22 was $7,617. So it's gonna be more than that if you consume the same amount. And if you don't consume the same amount because you have insulation and so on, my numbers also go down.
Right, everybody's numbers go down with the
That's-
installation.
that's correct.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need some time with this, cause I come up with something very different. I take, you know, our propane at $1.75 a gallon. Times, I used a different number because I averaged out several years. You were just using 2022, it doesn't matter, like, just, it's all gonna work out the same. Took our $1.75 times 2003 gallons that we used on average for a total of 3505 a year. And then I said, well, how many BTUs is that 2003 gallons? And that was at 91.6 a gallon, right? Because I took the 80% off at the top. Okay,
okay,
91.6 BTUs per gallon. I got 183 million something BTUs.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then using 13,920 BTUs per ton.
16,500,000.
Okay, that's a difference, Megan, in Nathan's calculations and what Tom is proposing. Right?
Okay,
Nathan was telling us that we get, you know, 13,920,000 per ton versus 16,500,000.
so 13 million versus 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
13 versus 6 or 14 versus 16.5. And again, I'm not able to do this in real time at this meeting, but I came up with a different calculation that has the propane being substantially cheaper. So I think we just need to sit in a moment.
Yeah, sure. I'm good with that.
Yeah, great. So I mean, I trust your numbers. There's probably something wrong with mine, but I got to figure out what that
No,
is.
sure.
Great.
I'd like to, Nathan, we're talking about Nate from VEIC.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to know where he gets his numbers from too, then. That's, you know,
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll see if I can find that email really quick, Tom.
see if he's showing some kind of percentage of efficiency or something, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's actually, yeah, this is gonna be my error, I think, but I just need to figure it out and I can't do it right
No
now.
problem.
Thank you. So
Who else got questions?
I have a lot of questions about the equipment.
You don't look at me.
Okay, I'm just letting you know. So, can you tell us just a little bit about your customers' experiences with this kind of system that you're proposing for us, including a radiant floor?
Mhm.
And, you know, just tell us like what your experience has been with your customers' comments about this.
Oh, in a larger system like this, mostly municipal buildings and schools and pellets, you know, because it's convenient, the pellets make it convenient as opposed to wood chips. Everybody loves them for various reasons, but the number one reason is that if you're the maintenance guy in a school, the last thing you want is more something to do. Pellets have a bad reputation going back even 10 years from now, where there was a lot of input to keep them running. That is no longer the case. Hargasner has put the latest technology on the market last year, and they're putting it in a mechanical system that they've used for almost 30 years. So, you know, they've gotten to a point where they've made it really reliable. And that's basically what we get from customers. We deliver fuel, the boilers run, they empty the ash, everybody's happy. The other big part of this is that we are connected. So when your boiler has a problem, or anybody's boiler has a problem, and not just Hargasner, but particularly Hargasner, we know it, we can see it, we can go online and fix it. We can let Hargasner in and look at it, and they can say, here's what we think, here's what you think. Corrections could be made if they need to be made. That's just, you know, not something that happens in the fossil fuel industry per se. So yeah, I mean, that's.
And so with boilers like this, what are the problems that your customers have been experiencing with those boilers?
I can't give you you, with hard hazard boilers, I don't have problems to talk to you about.
Great.
I've been 3 years with them. You know, I have a gentleman that's burning wood chips way up north in Vermont. And he's burning wood chips that are more than 30% moist. And that caused a problem. And that was an issue. I mean, and that's an issue of, he's not drying his fuel. That's not an issue of the actual boiler itself.
And so is that like the silo kind of stuff that you're talking about, the quality of the silo? Like, so how do we keep our pellets super dry?
Yeah, so in this case, we're putting an outdoor silo in, just a standard galvanized, I would call it like a farm type silo, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and these, we've done these all over the place for school, buildings, hospitals, nursing homes. The reason we do it is that I can put your load in there and that you can burn through that without having a delivery every month. That's what costs the money, is me driving trucks over the road. But inside those silos, there's no issues with the pellets. A lot of times you're gonna end up with pellets in your silo at the end of the year. And those pellets just sit there. They are not hygroscopic. They don't suck moisture in like humidity because they're so dry and they're skinned with the lignin that they don't. There's just no place for it to get in. And of course, when you pack them in. Now, we talked about silos that in the old days had 45-degree bottoms on them. And a lot of farms for chicken feed and stuff, that's what they do. Our silo has a 60-degree cone, because over the years, we've learned a few things at Lime Green, that if you go to 45 degrees, you can get gravity, which actually pulls straight down on them, and it locks them up. They do what we call bridging, where they can actually
They plug.
lock together with gravity. And now below that, going into the vacuum system, there are no pellets. The vacuum just runs and runs and runs. That's gone away with 60-degree cones, which is also something that, was not necessarily available 10, 15 years ago, but has become more available because of this technology.
So no real risk of like the pellets getting wet and
Correct.
mushy and all that.
The
right?
moisture you were talking about were on wood chips, right?
Yeah,
Not pellets.
correct, yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah, and I only bring that up because I was searching for a problem that I could give to Lou. But that's a different story. That's a fresh chip that's got 50% moisture going in, needs to be dried. Pellets come out of the mill dry.
Yeah.
Like they're carried in, they're dry trucks, you never see it.
Yeah.
We blow it out of the truck into the silo, it gets back into the boiler, it gets burnt, and then you take out the ash.
So can you talk to us a little bit about quality of pellets and delivery and supply and stuff? Because my naive understanding is that if you don't put quality pellets in here,
Yeah.
you can have problems with your boiler. If you have high quality, less likely problems.
So that myth stems from pellet stoves. Again, a pellet stove is going to burn a pellet in a burn pot quickly. It's not gonna secondary burn its gases. It's just going to make as much heat as it passes one time over the heat exchanger that you're gonna get into the room. So if you burn a softwood pellet, it burns hotter, it burns faster, it makes more ash, but that's okay, you're getting more heat out of it, but the same scenario happens. So what's different? Our boilers burn the pellets and they gasify, so they are not just burning the pellet, they're then burning the gases. But they also have a standard lambda sensor, what we call an O2 sensor. It's in all your cars except maybe your electric car. And it smells that combustion. It says how much oxygen is in this combustion gas. Is this enough? Like, is it 14% where it's bad combustion, or is it 8% or 9% where it's right, perfect combustion? And if the combustion is not good, it recycles the combustion gas back down into the bottom of the burner so that it can come back through the system. The idea is the output of it is gotta be clean, right? That's really the
Yeah.
key.
It's
That's
like
where
the
the
energy
99
efficient wood stoves now that recycle and reburn the
They
gas.
recycle and reburn gases, right, and a lot of times you'll find wood boilers, even outdoor wood boilers now, you put them in and there's a fan that sucks the flame downward so that it can pass it through an air chamber and try to ignite those gases. The difference is, again, pellets are dry fuel. They are ready to go. It's tinder. and so the combustion is very, constant. The other thing about pellets is they flow like a liquid, right? So they're very controllable. And how these boilers really determine when they need to clean their heat exchangers is as those pellets are dropping through airlocks coming down into the auger and they get fed out onto the grates and the grates move. This is what allows the air through under the pellets. Those grates are opened and closed again based on that combustion sensing. And those pellets are put out, but they're counting every rotation. So they know by the minute how much they've got. They know how much energy they've produced. They can tell you how many pellets they've used. There's a ton of information that goes into it that's just, it's not visible. And for most people, it doesn't matter,
Yeah, so I'm thinking about the person that you said, the person who runs the boiler, who wants to do as little work on the boiler as possible. Can you tell us like exactly what we're gonna have to do daily, monthly, weekly, whatever it is, to maintain this boiler in tip-top shape?
Once a month, you should empty your ash bin. Annually, you should have the
Yeah.
boiler cleaned.
Right.
That's a key thing, and that cleaning really should come in the spring. And the reason for that is, once those pellets have burnt, ash, and most people that burn wood know this, ash turns to concrete with humidity. The ash that comes out of this is fly ash, very, very fine, like soft powdery, right? Not much left, mostly made of metals, minerals, things that don't combust. But that's all that you're doing. There, you are not cleaning it. You're not, you can open the door and look, but you don't need to do it.
Right. Great, thank you. Can you talk to us a little bit about the warranties on particularly the boiler and any of the other big systems that come,
Yeah, so I brought you copies of the warranties,
Beautiful, thank you.
which actually are the warranty that comes from. Excuse me, Harley Gassner, there's
Yep,
lots of
great.
copies there.
Thank you.
Those are standard warranties. That's what we provide for the boiler right off the get-go. What you have as options to that is you will be able to purchase an annual contract.
Yep.
That will cover whatever is required with the boiler that you have. And it can require, there's other parts of the system. There's a thermal storage tank, there's the silo, I think the thermal storage tank's got 5 or 10 years on it. It's, they're all generally long. The boiler, the mechanical part of the system could have its own extended annual warranty. Now, we don't clean these boilers except once a year, which is what the manufacturer requires. And in order to stay in warranty, you will need to do that. And that is, again, it's a price based on the actual model of the boiler. And something right now, right here is important to kind of talk about because the boiler that you see on the quote shows it as a 120 kilowatt boiler. That same boiler is also a 70 kilowatt or 100 kilowatt. So it can increase and decrease its output based on just internal design. I don't have to change it. That said, I'm expecting that what I've seen and what I'm gonna end up with after weatherization, if it happens, is gonna mean I'm gonna reduce your energy, which obviously reduces a lot of things, right? So it's the same price, it's the same boiler. The difference is we can match the boiler to the existing system. Later on, if you choose to add on, or you decide you want to heat another building or whatever, it could be just added back on, turned back up,
I
right?
think that was part of it was that currently both of these buildings are run off the same propane system essentially. So at some point it would be hooking this building into that boiler as a class situation.
Right, and originally that was, we kind of talked about all of that, and then, Emily was here from, the state, and there was a lot of, obviously you have some things in this little building that maybe aren't really worth us digging a trench, but maybe. I just, you know what I'm saying? So we left it where it was, and yes, you are a little town, but you grow. And when you grow and you need another building heated, you don't have to go and buy another heating system.
And so I think you just referenced something about the warranty from the manufacturer and how that interplays with your service, your annual service contract.
Yep.
And can you, like, does that mean if we buy the service contract, is everything covered? Regardless of what the warranty says?
Well, yes, the answer to that is we bill that, right? So Lime Green Heat stands behind that warranty, but if we sell that warranty to you, we register it with Hargasner and they accept that as the warranty. So if it says 5 years on totally everything, we register it with Hargasner, they go cover everything,
And that's what your $5,000 6-year contract is.
whatever that is.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you. I think close. Just last question is, our generator will power the boiler during an electric outage. Yes?
Yes,
Yeah, great.
as long as we connect it,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
generator.
Yeah.
But yeah, sure. There's no issues with that type of connection.
Great. Thank you for your patience.
Sure.
All good.
Anybody else? Megan, got her hands up, yeah.
Tom, I have a timing question. So, the contractor that the board is contemplating engaging to do the weatherization work,
Mhm.
they indicated that they would be available to do that work this summer, probably like towards the end of the summer.
Mhm.
And I'm wondering if you would prefer to install the system before they weatherize the building or after. And let me also just note that the work that they're going to do will likely include weatherizing the currently unheated portion,
Yeah.
which is where I think we've contemplated putting the system in that loft space.
Yes.
So what would be your preference in terms of order of operations?
So the kind of where we stand after our walkthrough yesterday was that the boiler will end up in its own room upstairs. The thermal storage tank will end up downstairs on the floor behind the cat. That's
Either
the
behind the grader or in front of the.
grader,
Okay.
right? It's, 8.34 pounds per gallon,
Yeah,
400 gallons, so it's a
right,
lot of
probably
weight.
go on the floor.
Right. And easier to pipe, but I'm saying that if I was to put my room in.
Yeah.
I would rather pipe after. Because
After the
sometimes when you
weatherization.
pipe before, you
Yeah,
end up, if there's spray foaming or something
Yeah.
and they bury it.
Yeah,
so you put the building in or the room in first
Fill the room,
and
pour a
then,
pad for the silo, right?
Yeah.
That kind of would be like prep.
okay.
And then they could do their thing and we can come back
And then you
later.
come back after. So say they finished like, early to mid-September,
Mhm.
would you have enough time before the heating system?
That's perfect,
Okay,
because the schools are done, so yes.
okay,
So then,
June to September, schools.
I don't wanna interrupt too much, but you are obviously scheduling work. When do you need a decision from us in order to make sure we get on this year's schedule for that time in September?
Well, the more important thing is that we need some kind of a commitment to get the boiler here.
Right,
It comes from Austria, so it's gonna be on a container and I need to make sure I'm ordering it to go on my containers. I have a lot of boilers on a container that left yesterday because I filled the container, so now I have another chance. Generally, it's a 10-week lead time.
Okay.
So, I'm not begging, I'm just asking.
Okay.
And this boiler is not, it's a popular boiler. I guess is what I should say.
okay.
If I have to push a job around, we'll do that, So, yeah, I mean, that's just our situation.
How does the timing then tie into concrete work
Yeah,
and getting heat in the floor, if that's what you're choosing to do?
right, so that would be, so it'd be weatherization or build the room. Pour the pad for the storage tank,
Mhm.
weatherization. And then installation of the heating system, which would have to also be in conjunction with the floor being poured because.
do those have to happen at the same
Steve's gonna move
time?
the floor, Tom's gonna have to install the plumbing
I see.
and other infrastructure for the radiant heat.
Mhm.
And then Steve's gonna have to come back and pour the floor.
We would love to be able to pour the concrete pad when we pour the floor. It's concrete, it's,
So
So
you could also.
you could put the radiant in when you pour the pad and just have it basically stubbed out, waiting for the.
yes, oh, yeah, of course. Well,
So
what
that
we'll
could happen
end up
before
with
the
is our-
weatherization.
Our stuff coming out of the side, just wait for the piping that will go in when the insulation's done, when the floor is.
Okay, so whenever we can get the floor, okay.
List.
Yeah.
You can pump the Ford on any time.
Yeah,
Cause it'd just be I used to be up on the wall.
Yeah,
Okay, so he's not waiting on that, we can do that whenever we.
right, and I'm maybe a day or two to run my pipes in there, I think, something like that, I don't know, but a
Okay.
couple of guys will be
Okay.
working.
Yeah.
And then we can, you know, we'll take care of our pad size and everything. Pad gets delivered on a trailer, so it comes assembled and gets stood up on the pad.
okay.
Yeah.
So we can, hello. We can, coordinate with Steve then, to figure out the time for that. I'm just gonna grab you the chair.
Yeah. If they can reach out there, I think that's what they want.
Okay, anybody else?
Dan,
Yeah, go ahead.
this is Steve, devil's advocate here. So the town office is currently sitting on a slab, no frost walls or anything. The town
Mhm.
garage is in its current state now. It sounds like we're slapping a bunch of lipstick on a pig. Is this the best option for the town to spend this kind of money to rehab the town garage that may not withstand standing? Just a question.
No, so this is something I've wondered too, but. What I think where I landed was. If we don't do this, we continue with what we're doing and it's not a great work situation. Work site for the guys in the garage. If we want to not do this, the other option would be, instead of leaving everything as it is right now, to replace it all, which would cost us. I think the low estimate was $1.7 million, and that was a year ago, so probably closer to 2 or 2.5 now. And if we do this, it is a lot of money, but with all the incentives, something like $160,000 of it is paid between MERP and all the other incentives. And so our actual out of pocket after all those setbacks is gonna be like 90 grand. So you're getting $250,000 worth of work for $90,000. And if it extends the life of the buildings we have for another 10 to 15 years, that gives us a minute to plan for what will be a multi-million-dollar expense 10 to 15 years from now if we have to replace it. Basically, we have to either work and continue without doing anything in buildings that aren't ideal, or spend a little bit now to make them more ideal, or spend more money than the town has to replace it all. And I don't know that if I have to choose between the two, I would rather try to make them a little better now and use it for 10 years and hope that it's worth $9,000 a year in ROI. If it cost me 90,000. So I understand the question, but I mean, there are really only two options: don't do anything or replace it all. One maybe costs nothing except quality of workplace, and the other costs us 2 million plus, which we don't have and can't do. So I think that's why we're exploring this, because the other thing is, we were given this money, $136,000, if we don't spend it, it vanishes. And if someone's giving us free money, I'd like to spend it. I don't know how anybody else feels, but that's sort of where I stand.
Thank you.
I tend to agree generally. I just wanna, I think the 90,000 that you're talking about is actually 111.
So,
Plus the ventilation, so, you know, it may end up being around 130 something.
so we're getting a 57% discount.
Yeah. Wow.
You also have a way to save money on your fuel going forward, which is.
And we're not subject to the same price fluctuation though.
Right.
What is Steve's last name?
Broussard's. Did that, I hope that answers your question, Steve, as far as my thoughts on it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And the other thing is, yes, it's an expense, but we have a fund for the town campus that it's basically set aside for something like this, because at the rate it's growing, it's not gonna pay for a new building for another 23 years. Anybody else got anything to tell them?
No, I just feel the same way. Oh, that's a rock and a hard place, really.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that I walk into that garage every time and there's dirt flying around and it's cobbled mess and I wouldn't want to kick my shoes in there and watch everything fly up at me. So I guess the next question is, would you guys like to vote on the contract with Lime Green tonight, or does everybody need a minute?
I would
We
definitely,
don't. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
DH, but
Okay.
if you confirm your decision from last time, then Lou and I can continue working with Tom to get a draft contract together so that you all can look at it next time.
So I guess that's the question.
I'd like to wait, until we have a propane alternative costed out,
Okay. Anybody else got thoughts?
which would be 2 weeks, I mean, we'll have it in a few days and then we could consider it again at our next meeting
Or a special meeting?
or a special meeting.
So Lou, I took a look at Nathan's email and he was making some different assumptions. He was assuming that the efficiency of the pellet system was more around 85%. Which is a lot lower, and I did a quick Google, confirms that the system that Tom's discussing here is actually has a much higher efficiency rating. Nathan's also assuming, what was your BTU for the ton of each ton?
16,500,000.
Yes, Nathan's assuming 16 million. I also did a quick Google and the internet agrees at 16.5. And so there's just some things that are off there, I think, that would cause that calculus to be a little different.
Yeah, I'm not questioning it, I have apparently done it
But-
wrong.
Well, even with that, Nathan's break-even point for liquid propane was $2.09, which means that you would have to spend $2.09 a gallon on your propane to break even with
Right.
pellets. And we said it was the guy from Gillespie said maybe 175 for next year. So it's,
Yeah.
it's close.
And that's different efficiencies, different, more
Right.
BTUs, so probably
Right.
shakes out as
Yeah.
Tom is telling us.
And I know it's already almost 7 o'clock, so, and I appreciate firsthand that it's gonna be a long night for you all, but I just wanted to say a few more things.
Yeah.
So I think that the operational cost is certainly a significant thing to consider here, and I understand that's, generated the additional, investigation into the comparables for the propane system. And I think you already said this, Lou, but the propane system would not be eligible to be covered by MERP funds. So that's.
So we'd be buying that outright.
Right, but I don't think that's necessarily the point of what Lou's doing, right? I think it's
Yeah.
just more to understand the installation cost comparison.
Well, and it's also not, we would apply those MERP funds to the weatherization. And we would use all of those MERP funds, but for about 7,600, if we did no heating. We could just do the weatherization and MERP would cover that.
Yeah, but you're flipping numbers if cause what I got from the emails was that the propane system will be roughly equivalent cost. So let's round everybody to 120 just for the sake of, making it round numbers. Then your out of pocket is 120 versus 111.
I'm sorry, I didn't follow.
Yeah,
If you're paying completely for the propane system and it's the equivalent price of this system.
right.
Oh,
but-
Correct, but that's not MERP money, that's Forest Service money and EVT money is additional for,
Do those get applied to a propane system?
no.
Okay, so then your cost equivalency would make this more like, what's that? They're 21,000, what's $140,000, so you'd have $140,000 out of pocket.
Right, but again, I don't, and Lou, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I don't know that that's exactly the point of your investigation.
Well, it is to me, if the cost is price, because if we're gonna pay $111,000 for this system.
Okay,
And we're gonna pay $140,000 for that system, there's a $30,000 difference, which buys me 5 years of fuel.
Correct, and I love that analysis, and if that's the way it comes out, yes, but we don't have any of those quotes yet.
we don't.
You know, that was a guy who ended up not quoting it after he told me that, who knows,
Well,
maybe he's more expensive, but he couldn't meet his.
yeah, no, I'm just saying, if we take it as a 1-for-1, right?
Sure.
You- That's if anything from the propane side. If any proposal from the propane side is over $111,000, it's costing you more to do the propane.
Correct.
Okay. So a couple other points I wanna make that, kind of. Are aside from the question about what the annual costs and potential annual additional costs or annual savings might be comparing. A propane system to biomass system, and the first point I wanna make is. Related to, I guess, the local economy. And the fact that when Vermonters spend $1 on propane. 33% of that dollar recirculates into the local economy, and 67% of that dollar leaves the Vermont economy. When Vermonters spend $1 on a biomass heating product, 71% of that dollar stays within the Vermont economy, and 29% of it leaves. So I would just argue that when the town of Braintree decides, if it decides to participate in a heating infrastructure that is biomass based, you are supporting so many more layers of the local economy and people that work to produce biomass products in the state of Vermont than you would be in supporting a fossil based heating system. So I just want to make that point as maybe an aside from the operational costs.
It's kind of interesting. Think about
I think, yeah,
So Lime Green Heat is building now. A pellet plant to manufacture pellets up in Wells River, Vermont. So that we can secure our fuel. We can make sure our fuel is local.
So you're inline.
What's that?
So you're an inline
Yeah,
company. Yeah.
I mean, I supply 3,000 people with pellets, around the Northeast right now, and I deliver somewhere around 20,000 tons a year. So I can't not have fuel, you know? But I also then can control the price, and I also can control the quantity, the quality, and, yeah. So just going towards local economy, we're trying to make it more local.
yeah, that's an excellent point. I think super relevant right now is just the stability of the cost of things, and we're in a situation right now where our economy is being significantly impacted by current events and choices of leadership, and that the price of fossil fuel is impacted by that and other conditions globally, much more frequently than the cost of wood products or electricity. And I can provide some information on this if people are interested, but I think just over time, the stability of the biomass market is much greater than the fossil fuel market. And I think that that's a long-term consideration for the town. I don't think that anyone expects the cost of fossil fuels to go down at least anytime in the next 6 months based on what's happened recently. And so I think that that's just something to take into consideration.
Mhm.
And then just going back to the efficiency discussion that we had previously, and just the high efficiency rating of these systems, I think is another really, and the longevity of the system is another, serious consideration for the town. So I don't think it's just about operational costs. I think it's about the choices that the town makes in terms of making a long-term investment in just a better product that I think is going to benefit the town in the long term, but also the role of the town in making decisions as a public body that benefit the economy, the local economy and people that are operating in that economy to a greater extent. But, so I think it's just bigger than big annual cost, and so I would ask if that. If that really is the make or break consideration, then. Certainly extend your deliberations, but in my mind, it's an easy choice for a number of reasons, and. As a resident of Braintree, a choice that I would feel good about you all making sooner rather than later.
Perfect.
That's my spiel, I'm done.
I appreciate it. It was a good one. Anybody else? Okay, so it sounds like we're tabling this for the moment until we hear back from a propane
Yes.
Gillespie. Okay. Tom, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
It was great to meet you and it was incredibly informative.
Am I released?
You are, you are, I'm sure you have a long drive. I saw New Hampshire plates.
Boss.
Oh, good Lord. Well, you've got even longer
Yeah,
drive.
so I got a little bit of a ride, but thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time to look at it and combination of you two just making it happen and keeping it going. That's important.
Thank
Did
you.
you just throw in a Boston
And
accent
if you
there?
could, take a look at the ventilation piece, that will help you.
Start tomorrow for me.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I will try to get something out to you by the end of the week. I know I'm gonna need equipment that I'm gonna have to price and so.
Yes, that's fine. That works.
But I will do that.
Great.
I appreciate that.
I mean,
Yeah.
typically you have 2 weeks, because the board won't.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
We're waiting on the other, but either way, if you put, the ventilation system is really just for the humidity. It's, we're trying to stop that place from raining.
Yeah.
Put in that-
Yeah, you can imagine when a truck comes in covered in snow and water and then you,
See it?
you bet. Yeah,
You got a hot floor and it starts melting and
yeah,
humidity goes up, but we just need to evacuate it and then it's no issue.
which intellectually makes sense, but I don't know why nobody thought of that before. So, anyway, but we'll let you go home, but thank you very much for hanging out.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Tom.
it.
He was here yesterday too.
I know, you, hopefully. you spent the night with the nice hotel.
No, that's right. Thank you.
What's that?
Belmo says that Belmo's, we got two minutes there.
Yeah, so we'll jump back up, cause I saw Marlis come in. I'm here, I'm assuming you're here for your email.
Yes.
Okay, and then we've got Bob, you're here for,
HDV.
yeah, were we approving the ordinance? I thought we already did that.
No.
Still on the agenda.
Sorry, I was, if I can jump in,
Yeah.
sorry. I think that, the discussion that we had prior to town meeting was that the ATV ordinance would be revisited in April.
Mhm.
And that, Bob was gonna come back with some additional information about the changes that you had talked about last time.
I did not remember that, but
Yeah, that was in like January. Yeah,
I
right?
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay. Well, we'll put you under citizens' comments, cause your ordinance is not on the agenda, but.
Unexcusably late too.
No, that's okay. But you probably wanna hear what this is while we're here, so go ahead, Marla, and tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so I'm following up with the email that I began, I think it was 2 summers ago with Bent Hill Road, and I believe that we are a no ATV allowed road.
Yeah.
And that there was ATV happening, ATV nightly. And I had come to the meeting and asked that be enforced, that the block on ATVs be enforced. I think something did happen because it improved for a short time. There were also retaliative actions taken against me, unfortunately. And then things have gone back to nightly ATVing. There is that break in the winter from about December to April. But things have now started back up again nightly. So I was coming to ask for that to be enforced on Bent Hill Road.
So we briefly talked about this before, and then we tried to get to a being issue because we knew it would take a minute. I just pulled up the ordinance. And it's unclear. And someone can remind me if they.
So section 6, maybe?
Yeah, but we have to designate an enforcement officer, and then the way I read it is we have to sue people.
Well, you issue a complaint,
Yeah, and then it goes to court.
or people pay a waiver fee, and maybe Bob knows something about this. No?
I don't know what the waiver fee is that you,
Okay, that's all right. So
Steve's got a ticket book, right? We got him one.
Yeah, but are you gonna,
That's a negative.
it's here at the office.
You didn't know you had it,
Jesse
Steve.
has it.
Oh, lucky you.
He's never had.
I don't.
I've never written a ticket and don't plan on it.
So here's my understanding of section 6, right? That there are designated enforcement officers who can be designated by either the Lost Nation ATV Club or the town of Braintree. And then a designated enforcement officer can issue a complaint to someone who violates the ordinance. And then they can contest, and then there is in section 5,
A waiver or.
yeah, a waiver. There's also, a hearing that's supposed to happen as well in accordance with 23 VSA.
Which I think is in Superior Court. It's a little bit like a trash ordinance. It goes to Superior Court.
So I just wanna throw out then that there's probably gonna need more research done on how exactly this happens, because if it's along the lines of what Lou's pointing out, it was extremely difficult to get that ticket book.
I know, I remember it
We
being
had
an
to go
ordeal.
through Quite an ordeal
Yeah.
to get it, and it's specifically for the
Sure.
constable.
Yeah, okay.
So, you can't just give it to any.
No, we'd have to designate Steve to go hang out on the road and then presumably pay him to do that.
you know, heard about the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Just keep calling the state police every time you see them on the road.
Oh,
And
my,
eventually they will come out.
my understanding was that the town was enforcing their own rule and that the state police had nothing to do with this.
Well, I think it's a double up on jurisdiction. They're not supposed to be on the highways anyway, so state police can ticket them at any time. You can correct me,
It's
isn't that?
unauthorized use of public road.
Right.
And what we do is, VASA is contracted with the sheriff's.
VASA
department.
being the people that oversee the ATV trails.
Right.
Okay.
And they're contracted with the sheriff's department or just call Fish and Game. Those are our two go-to guys.
And I would tell you that having
So you
talked to
just
game
call the
wardens
state
in the
police
past,
and the
they
state
said
police
the game wardens
contact
will, the
the
game wardens told me, they will
Yeah,
react
or the
differently to
sheriff.
you than the state
Right.
police will.
Then someday,
If you get in
And then
trouble,
they
call
come out,
them
they
and they
make
might
sure.
be there faster.
It works, you just gotta keep calling.
Yeah.
If you keep calling, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Roxbury had problems with trucks going over the mountain up there. The residents up there on Warren Mountain didn't like all the logging that was going on one time up above them. And they kept calling, and lo and behold, DOT was sitting at the bottom of the mountain, watching for trucks.
So,
Yeah, still what he was doing, he said, well, squeaky wheel gets the grease, and we've had a lot of complaints, and here I am, he says.
this is not us throwing up our hands. What we're saying is, we gotta figure out how it works on our end.
Mhm.
Because I don't know how the constable goes about enforcing this or how we make that happen,
Mhm.
right? So we're gonna have to figure that out, but in the meantime, your best option is to call either the state police or the game wardens. Which is new to me, I didn't know that was
No.
the point of contact, but
Yeah.
apparently they know about the ATV trails
Yeah.
and these guys, so that is another resource to call.
Okay.
Anytime you hear it happening.
Okay.
And that'll be your first call, in the meantime, we'll figure out what and if we can do here.
All right, and
Does that
just
make sense?
also, I just wanna say that this ATV usage has nothing to do with that.
No, they're,
Right.
yeah,
That's
Just-
totally unauthorized as far as we're concerned.
and these guys, in these guys' defense, you do a very good job of telling people, this is your
Yeah.
plot of land you can play on, don't go outside of
I
it.
get myself in a lot of trouble by being vigilantes.
Right, so I appreciate how they handle the people that are doing this wrong.
And Marlis, if you go on the Vermont Game Warden website, you'll see which game wardens are assigned to the central district, and there's one that's in Randolph. And
Yeah.
their phone numbers right on the website.
It's a, I forget her name, it's a, yeah, I met her, she's super nice.
There's also
very
Kendra,
helpful.
right? Or there's a Kendra around here too that,
Yeah, she lives in, I think she lives in Rochester.
yeah, but she's in town all the time. I see her all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, this is our area.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's several that are assigned to the district, but that's the one that's in Randolph, so.
And what I will say is, if you can get. A picture of the machine with that decal, with their license plate or their decal. That goes a long ways too, as far as identifying people.
I know who it is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they have a decal.
Right,
Yeah,
but, yeah, registration stuff, and the VAS office has a way of tracking that, so.
And knowing that the game and fish people are the place to go, and one is in Randolph, I would start there. Because they're gonna be faster to respond than the state police, is my guess. And then we'll figure out what we can do from our side, if that works.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, and since you're now a citizen's comment, what's going on?
Just here to represent the Lost Nation ATV as far as getting our ordinance renewed, and right now at this juncture, we're just gonna renew it as it was written for last year.
Okay, and last year didn't include Bover, right?
Correct. That little loop deal that we had talked about is becoming more problematic than we
Okay.
originally,
Thought it would,
yeah.
someone
Okay.
in Grand Hill don't want it, right?
No, we haven't even got to that part.
You didn't make it that far.
Yeah.
Okay,
Trust me, you're gonna find some.
As it was written for last year. So,
okay, well, that's good to know. So knowing that,
Yeah.
we'll put it on the agenda for next meeting to vote on and approve it. I think
Okay.
there's a 60-day lead-in, which gives you
Yeah.
till mid-June, but I mean,
Yeah,
who
we
knows?
don't know until June first anyway.
So you'll be a little bit behind, and I apologize for that.
Yeah.
But it's up to you whether you don't have to drive down here if you don't want. I think,
It doesn't matter.
$4 a gas.
I just had a question about the ordinance that is posted on our website. It's from
Yeah.
2019 and it does include all of Bover Road and everything. So I just want to make sure that
That
if we need to update the one on our
got
website, it
changed
gets.
last year.
it got changed, but she's saying what we posted.
What we have
doesn't-
posted still is the one from 2019 on our town site. So someone could say, well, I saw it on there. So I'm just saying that we should
Well,
update it
okay,
Right.
when we
let's make
update
that
it.
note.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll vote on it next week. I'll leave it up to you whether you wanna come or not.
Yeah.
But we know now the parameters of what we're voting on. I
Right.
think we're pretty good.
With no changes
Yeah.
again this year, so.
Okay, and we'll update the website.
Right.
And don't worry about late. You can see we're still here, so no worries about running out. We have 7 items on the agenda and no 10, and we've been through 3, so we're doing.
I know. I thought tonight was gonna be real short based on the agenda. Should have known.
Good.
That was gonna be short.
yes.
Oh.
Has been approved to issue citations, and I take it.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah, we went through that. What was that? Right, 6 years ago,
yeah.
7 years ago?
Yeah.
We didn't have any way to write tickets, and then we put in this and the trash ordinance, and we decided, well, what's the point of having these if you can't write a
Right,
ticket on them?
yeah, dog with no teeth.
That's correct. So
Can
here
I
we
just
are.
ask a quick question? Do you know anything, what's this judicial bureau? Do you know anything about that? It's the judicial bureau that handles small infractions like this?
It's like some subsidiary of
Like
the Superior Court.
The little like small claims courty kind
Yes.
of thing? Okay, this is what we have to figure out. It's
Yeah.
A little cumbersome. So,
Yes,
thanks.
but that last time we looked into it, that was my understanding.
Got it.
Basically,
Thank you.
Jim Barlow is a
Would-
really good reference
Yes.
for dealing
town
with
attorney.
the citation.
and he will
Yeah, he can walk you through the whole process.
boil it down in like 2 paragraphs and
Would
it
you like
won't be
maybe to-
confusing. Yeah, that'd be great. So we'll figure it out. And
Thank
your
you.
next.
Looks like
meeting.
I'm
Go ahead.
Tuesday? When's
The
your
20th,
20th
yeah,
at 6?
at 6 o'clock.
21st.
21st, I won't be here, so Lou's gonna have to be in charge.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, Thanks for Thanks for coming. You won't even be able to reach me. Okay, so we're now back all the way to highway report.
Right,
Thank you.
What?
there's a good contract.
Oh, I forgot about that. So then that way you can go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cause I have a question about that.
Okay.
The contract,
Yes.
okay.
All right, go for it.
I haven't seen it or anything else, and all it says on here is the town garage. Does it include the town office?
I haven't seen it either. Did we get this
Okay.
on an email?
I thought it was in the packet, but I
And then-
printed out some copies, so they're right here.
Oh, is this the one that, I thought we were looking at lime green. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, no, I'm good. I did.
Exactly, do that.
Okay, so the weatherization for the town office includes, their attic insulation
In the window.
package. So this is air sealing, all accessible penetrations from the living space below into the
I
attic.
did read this.
So like
Okay.
wiring, the plumbing.
Thanks, Paul.
Through sealing that, installing vent chutes between the rafters to maintain the soffit venting.
Okay.
Install new insulation dam to contain loose blown cellulose, so to like contain the cellulose that they're gonna add. And then they're gonna make a new attic hatch and insulate it with a 6-inch board of foam. And then they're going to blow cellulose into the attic to achieve an R60 value over the existing fiberglass. So that's all the attic insulation.
Okay, so it's only attic insulation,
Yes. Because that's what was prescribed in the audit.
which I think if you go back to the energy audit that was done
Long time ago.
a long time ago, there's none in the walls either. You know,
No,
like,
It's
like,
fiberglass insulation
That is so.
and they're afraid it's settled.
there was a lot of red that was shown, and the only reason I brought it up, and so it may not matter at this point in time, is that if they were doing anything with the walls, we've mentioned this and we keep forgetting, and Lauren and I were discussing today, and it was brought up again, the T111 is coming off of the wall, it's rotting, it's out and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So what we ought to do outside is replace all the T111 and insulation at that point in time. But because that's not included in this, it doesn't matter, and we can,
Well, and if we're doing this and we're sort of upgrading, maybe that's the next,
And
maybe that's the next step with the campus fund, right? Like the next thing in the
Right.
year is to redo the siding and
Windows,
insulation.
siding,
Well, the windows were part of it.
oh.
Yeah, it is, yeah. They're replacing and sealing all the windows.
And you get the bigger window up there.
Yes.
yes.
Another thing, Jesse, they could look at, and maybe we could ask Corey to come back, is, you know, if they went up into the attic, they could likely see to the extent that the fiberglass has settled down in the wall cavity. And I wonder if they could like backfill it with the flow in it.
Which we don't want them to do if we're
If you're
replacing
replacing
everything.
everything. Yeah,
You don't wanna have the cellulose come ball falling out of you.
right.
So,
Yeah.
If it's me, I would do that. I mean, if that can survive for another year, you're gonna have money left in the campus improvement fund.
so I just wanted to make sure that they weren't blowing anything into the walls,
Yeah,
because that was something that it is something that needs to be done sooner rather than later, and I didn't want it to all.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it
yeah.
sounds like
There's even critters that get up in the walls.
yeah.
Okay.
So that would mean that it would just start coming out if you were to rip off the exterior.
Okay.
So that's what's happening
You're good.
in the town office.
Okay, so I guess we need to vote to approve the contract for ACH services.
Move to approve.
Second. Lauren seconds. All those in favor? There we go. And you get your new big window, Jess.
you know what I'm still not seeing on either of these quotes? New toilet.
It's our.
She already got
Wait,
it.
oh my gosh. Why not?
Go check it out, man.
You should
Nobody
go
goes
try
see
it.
it, but I'm so excited for you.
It's it 3 times the first day in bed.
Just.
So happy for you.
Just for the fun of it.
You're like, I'll be in my office.
Because I was so excited.
I'm so
Glad
excited
to
to
be.
hear
I
that.
think it's all the good stuff.
A rich life right there.
Right?
So, Amy, you'll sign
Yeah,
and Paul, do you have Corey's contact info to get his signature, or do you want me to send that?
I'll just sign this copy I got right here.
Corey is the ACH Energy
Oh, okay.
owner.
I think I can get it, but, whatever you prefer.
I'll make sure that you have it, and if you wanna just, send the signed copy and then he can fully execute it. We should be good to go.
All right. Signed away.
Thank you, sir.
The front and back copy, I hope nobody did. Okay, now can I go back to highway report? Because Lauren's got 2 pages, which means we're never going home.
Just slap him in the head with that.
I know.
Really?
Thank you, Megan.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Megan.
Right.
Loader apparently never had a 2,000 hour service,
Yeah, we talked about this.
and the 2,000 hour service entails. Valve adjustments, you gotta adjust the valves. So, and then change all the oils. And the rear ends, the transmission, everything. So I have them. Send me a quote. But to take care of the machines that should be done. That's,
And
That-
it's not covered in the warranty.
that's not covered in warranty. So. I'm thinking of maybe do it toward fall. So it's on the next budget, so. And it will be closer to 4,000 hours by the time.
And is that when the next one is due?
Well, yeah, that hadn't done yet, so the next one will be doing 4,000 hours, so.
Or do we?
How far away is the John Deere? How far away is this place? $1,000 just for them to come and get it?
Or we can take it to them.
Wouldn't it be
which would
cheaper for us
cost
to
more.
pay, really?
Yeah,
Or is
and
it pay someone to sit there?
Chelsea and I'll do it.
before,
I don't have my CDL. sorry.
before I commit to them coming down here. I'm gonna see if we can put it on our trailer and not go over height.
Gotcha.
We may be able to keep.
Is that trailer got the capacity for it?
Yeah, it'll handle it, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just worried about the height. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Other than that, take it up and well.
Okay.
But I gotta measure up the height, because that's the scary part. If it's over 13.6, you can't take it that way, so. I'm almost thinking,
Oh, on 12A, because of the underpass?
can't take it anywhere.
Can't take it anywhere because the underpasses.
You can't take it anywhere, 13.6.
So is there any impact on our warranty that we didn't get this done at 2,000 hours?
Warranty might be
Not covered
gone.
under a warranty anyway, right? So, yeah.
So this is just best practice? So if we wait till fall and we're at 3,000 hours,
Well, you're over 3 now, you're at 34. Yeah, 34.
saving money every mile we're driving.
Yeah, we got. I mean, the engine oil has been changed,
Yeah.
that's not an issue, so.
Okay.
Then the grader, Charles would like to have their mechanic come down and go with it, over it with him when he changes the oil and does 500 hour service, because that's done every 500 hours of course.
This is our first 500.
Yeah, well, it's a new machine, he's not
Sure.
familiar with it,
Better safe than
you
sorry.
know, like he was the John Deere, and I says, yeah, just another expense, he says, because we bought a cat instead of a John Deere. Perfect, I says.
But once this guy comes once, he'll be able to handle it.
Yeah, he'll be able to handle it.
Yeah.
So we need valve adjustment.
Minutes worth. Having somebody do
I ain't that called to ask him much. If you want me to, I will.
it. No.
Is it worth having?
And
Chris
because it ain't gonna be
walk
due for a while. It's only got 100, hasn't even got 100 hours on
I wouldn't bother getting a price right now, would you?
it. Yeah, let's wait until it's closer. Yeah, okay.
Great.
Mud season is
Muddy.
No, it's horrible.
Pretty non-existent for us, I mean, considering, knock on wood, what it
Comparative.
could have
Last
been.
year were rough.
Oh, yeah, like my car got like swallowed by the road in previous years. This year,
Yeah, we had a bump come up the bottom of Ben Hill.
That was a fun one.
Jesse found it for. That come up all of a
it was
sudden.
one that you like didn't see until you were like on it.
Well, it came up all of a sudden.
Yeah, you're just like, oh my god.
And that's exactly what I did. I was-
Yep,
It came up quick.
it did come up quick. Yeah, it came up like while I was at work. one day.
Anyway, and then
Yeah,
Hoffman Hill, that's just started breaking up here this last weekend. In the bottom section, so.
Yeah, with the,
And we got a couple other places, but they're not, nothing's. Like it normally is, worse.
well, that's good, right?
I feel like you guys been grading less this year, like grading less of the road this year, because I feel like that's what sometimes attributes to it being so muddy. Is it gets graded in the spring, maybe a little too much, but I don't know. I'm not a road person. But I'm just saying, like
It's
sometimes
a
I
little
feel like.
crazy right now because of the snow.
Right, but what I'm saying is that, like, I feel like sometimes you see the grader very active in the spring, and then it just, I feel like it attributes to its sloppiness.
What contributes is this material that's in there.
Yes, exactly, that's getting
Don't get it
pulled up by the
started,
grader,
Chelsea,
I'm
don't-
sorry.
So
I'm
don't
saying
get
it's a
me
great year,
Yeah, it's,
my little
Been
is
good.
doing great.
it's been good, so let's don't, yeah, don't jinx it. So, anyway, that's the mud season. Phone lines, Farnsworth, you heard anything about them?
No, that lady hadn't called you back?
No.
Okay, I'll call her again.
Nope, nothing, so we started grading a little bit here and there where we can. We're gonna start more at the end of the week here, do more. No, the pit up here. We need to rent a dozer, I can rent one for a couple of weeks, it's gonna cost to $8,000-9,000 to rent it. Or I talked to Dean and he'll do it 2 weeks worth of work for us up there for 15,000.
We have to turn it back into a field.
And then we will move the dirt. The topsoil back over when he's ready for it. To smooth out, seed it down. I'm not planning on putting all of it back, but as much as we can and. For now, cause we still got more gravel to extract out of there.
When does that have to be done?
Well, should have been done while they were stripping more last year. But
Well, and
they,
that's a little bit of what I'm thinking, like if it's 9 for us to rent and 15 for Aldergetty, you know.
no, it's not on
Dean.
these halls,
Oh, Dean's
Dean
Hall,
Saws,
to do it. You know,
but I don't, that way I can run a loader and the two guys can. Run truck and Charles can go grade.
If we have someone else, if we have deep,
If we hire
yeah,
someone.
it'll be more
And
efficient.
I ain't gotta be there all the time, he can start it without us.
Yeah. I mean, the reclamation comes out of what, the gravel pit fund or the sand line, gravel pit fund?
Probably fun.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. They do it.
I think that's a good way to do it myself.
Great.
You guys are gonna be busy enough this summer, you're.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that TS 110, the blue tractor with the forks on it out here.
God, it's broken again.
No, it ain't broke, but it don't start sometimes. Then all of a sudden you play with it, it'll start. It's like, we can't figure out what it is. I mean, you run the shifting knob, there's like 3 or 4 safety switches on it. Park brake, shifting knob. I don't remember them all, but a PTO. In order for it to stop, that all has to be in, and of course the key switch has to work. Well, I don't know what it wouldn't start one day, and I don't know what the hell it did. I get out and Pete came in and told me it wouldn't start, so I went out with him and I was gonna jump it. See, I couldn't get to it to jump it. I moved a couple wires down there. He gets back in it. He gets back in it. Start it.
So it's electrical somewhere in there, we're assuming?
Yeah, something somewhere. You got a short, I don't know, and they don't do it all
Or
the
like
time.
a loose wire or something, just gets jostled just right?
What are you gonna do, dump money into that thing?
I don't want
Get
them.
rid of it.
I don't know, but Jesse don't want us buying one.
Well, it's not that, we can't afford it.
Right, not right now. So,
What were you gonna say, Jesse?
No, I was just gonna say that I think a lot of contemplation needs to be put into what exactly we need, and both tractors need to go away.
Yes, we agree too, we don't know how to replace it.
Right, so I think. And you said it's the blue one? Yeah,
And that was the one that was, everybody sort of liked.
Yeah, they like that one over the other.
well, unfortunately, that's the one that gave us so much trouble for such a long
Yes,
time,
exactly.
and then.
Transmission was, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they basically bought the transmission.
Yeah, but it was basically a lemon, it should have been under lemon law, because that wasn't the only issue, but.
Okay. We'll figure that
Anyway.
out. We've had these discussions, it's just not, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I got an idea, we'll see.
You're being recorded,
I know. I got an idea, you know.
that's what I'm saying.
So. Yeah, um,
Oh, you two, that's not even where I was going.
Matt, 2021, Matt, Charles's truck. The antifreeze is going somewhere in it. So I says, I asked him, I says, it's not leaking anywhere. He says, I can't find anything on the floor. He says, I can't find any wet. He says, a little damp on by the overflow hose, he says, but he couldn't really see anything. So we took it to Matt, thinking it might be something in the engine, but it wasn't. They called me today. They do have some upgrades they gotta do to it that are covered under warranty. But the antifreeze problem is the overflow jug there has a crack.
How expensive can that be?
They're pretty pricey.
And that's not under warranty?
You know why? It's because it's got that big MAC.
I know, let's, can we use a milk jug or something?
Okay,
$900. That's what it is, something like 900 and something.
well, you gotta fix it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it keeps leaking antifreeze, price of antifreeze, you know, is,
At least we figured it out now.
and it had a hose that was leaking, but he said that really wasn't the problem. He says it's more of the,
Okay.
when it gets hot, it expands.
So it'd be a worse problem, so let's take it.
Oh, yeah, well, whatever.
You said they're also updating other things on it that are under warranty?
So the Western Star, I gotta call and talk more to the,
God, man, come on, killing us.
going,
You gotta space these out.
hey, I'm gonna fix this, cause it ain't right.
Which is the Western stuff?
It should have never got accepted. But somebody not knowing what they're looking at wouldn't see the problem. The wing is supposed to. Should say this is the wing, right? Lined up, it's supposed to line up from the truck to where it hitches on the wing straight like that, right? Well, the very end of it goes like that. Okay, where it hitches. And that is not the way it goes.
Is it
Every
a
time you
hinge?
hit something, yeah, every time you hit something, you're bending that ear.
Mhm.
Because it's not straight.
Alright,
And looking at it, it's because they left 11 inches of frame on the front of the truck. They should have bolted it back underneath the front of the truck, the frame of the plow frame. And they didn't, they just added it onto that frame, that 11 inches. And I spoke to the salesman when he was here. And we looked at it and he says, yeah, you're right, that ain't right. And I says, yeah, so. I asked him, I said, who's paying for this, seems it ain't right. Should never came to us like this.
Well, hopefully it's not us.
He said, well. You want it fixed, it'd probably be you, and I said, well, I think we're gonna balk a little bit.
Yeah,
I said, so. Look, I'm gonna talk to him again before I take it down, just gotta go down Friday for an appointment next week.
do it. I'll fight with him if you want.
or we can call our town attorney.
I like having these
I
guys.
just tell him, I said, well, we can talk to our lawyer, come on.
That works. for
Well,
me.
I mean, it's their fault.
Well, that's what I think, they didn't,
And-
they get, apparently put a guy on it that didn't know what he was doing, for one. Because they didn't install Temco down there until they closed Temco in Barry. Okay, so it was all new to those guys. And I knew this because of working with the guys in Barry. That year has bent before with me, he said, if it ain't straight, it's gonna bend. So,
Yeah, I think bulk.
so that's, yeah. So Derek Moosey's gonna fix the town hall.
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna work on it right off if he ain't already working on it. You seen him
I
there?
think I've seen someone there pulling out extension cords. I don't know if that's who it
Oh,
was.
that's a whole different.
Oh, okay.
I've seen people working on their cars.
Yeah, that.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the
Just
whole thing,
kidding.
Jesse and I last week, and Steve. He's-
It was like 3 cars, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Into
the
one.
front blade on the grader. I've got Desiro's making me a plate. To put on the grader. To get the front blade bolted onto it, because the bolt pattern's different.
And the front blade
I-
is
no, I
for
remember.
John,
Yeah.
So,
we have to make an adapter.
and then it's also a little narrower than this machine, so, LaPerle said he'd fix it. Probably less than $2,000, widen it out. And, make it wider than the grader, so we wanted to buy a blade. And Desiro's cost is around 46, 47, and for the plate. That's it. I think he said it's gonna be at least 1.25 inches, but pretty sure he said 1.5 inches. Plate, which is pretty expensive
The,
and heavy.
the alternative is a new blade, which is over 15,000.
Yeah,
This is.
new blade's 15,000. So I don't think we need to go with 15,000. And we're gonna need that blade on to push sand up, or we're gonna have to run a frickin' machine, which is gonna cost you more than what it's gonna cost to fix this, so. I've been swapping chewed up tires. I got a couple over here now that have been chewed up by chains so much, I don't even know if they're recapable anymore, because it's down to the recap, I think. So I've been changing those. And I got them all changed for now. I got a couple, 4 more I gotta do later. But I don't need to do them right now, so. Cause we have another set of tires for that truck. That Dylan had purchased, I guess. And then, that grader is all metric. We don't have sockets big enough yet. I tell you, man, it's just been a nightmare. So. For $180, I can get sockets that are metric. A set up to, I think it's 15 mil, yeah, 15 mil, yes.
You gotta have it to work on.
And then a couple adjustables, I gotta have a little bigger, because I've got 2 big 2.5, 3-inch bolts on the back. The only way to get them off is pipe wrenches, and really not the way to treat nuts and bolts.
Yes, you pay for all those by selling.
The tractor?
The tractor.
No, he's selling that leaf sucker, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get that for them, see if it comes together. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, we could buy those and just grab them on there.
That's how that happens.
We can try that. Yeah, I don't need to buy them right now, so I'll wait until after I take the metal out and see what kind of money we get on.
I like it.
See what kind of money we get out of it.
Saving money, man.
Try, you know. And then, and the pipe came from the grants and aid, up for the buckles, way out front here,
Yeah, I ordered that thing.
it's expensive. But It's covered in the grants and aid.
Just a quick related question, since we're coming up on the start of the new fiscal year. Can you check for us for next meeting or something, where we are on actual for,
I was gonna do it this meeting, but this meeting was kind of long.
Yeah.
So that's my plan.
yeah. To see whether we
She didn't any help.
wanna get it done or wanna wait.
We got bills this month, thing that you've had not helping anyhow. So anyway, that's the
Thank you, Lauren.
report.
My,
It was shorter than your heat. Oh,
my part of this is quick.
It's your feet.
Lauren,
Thank you.
Heat report.
it's Lauren and I had a phone call today and figured out that we had both been of the same mind that we're gonna pass on the class 2 instructors grant for this cycle. Because we probably won't get it. We've got one of each open at the moment, so the chances they're gonna give us another one is pretty slim. And also, we're sort of flush with work. I don't know where we would fit another large grant like that in. And we don't have a project that just strikes us at the moment to do it. So just so everybody knows, the April 15th deadline is gonna come and go for that without us doing anything.
Great. Thank you for thinking it through and explaining it like that.
Grants report.
I met with Rita and we went over the pending AOT grants and applications. She was missing one document, the letter of intent for grants and aid that the board had executed. Sorry?
They already got it.
Right, well, Jesse filed it, I filed it, but the guy who I gave it to has since been laid off, so it could have gotten lost.
I see.
And the person who Rita talks with was indicating that they had not received it yet, so I gave Rita the copy, and with that, Rita says we're all set.
Okay.
I've gotten an email, which Jesse was copied on, let's see, this is the Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds Program, which we have time on, so I'm gonna dig my teeth into that over the next 2 weeks and see if I have anything to report on that on the 21st.
Sounds good to me.
End of report.
I love it. We're moving through these things now. We got held up because of Lou. Now we're going okay.
No, it's my fault.
I appreciate how
That's just
thorough
a
you are.
question.
No, I appreciate the question. I mean, if we have things already in place, I understand why the question was asked. Consider appointment of tree warden and other remaining open positions. We brought this up because,
Long time.
no, I don't think we appointed you, right? Didn't we get an email about this or something? What prompted this? Did I get the email?
No, we got. Not about the tree warden.
I couldn't find it recently. I got an email about this and it might have had to do with the emergency management people and Megan might be taking care of this. But
Yeah.
did we appoint him?
I think we appointed him when he became the road foreman, because when Dylan left, because Dylan was the tree warden, right? Yeah.
Dylan was tree warden.
Yeah, I thought we did it all at the same time, but I might be misremembering.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Does that have to be done? When does that have to be done again? Every year at town meeting? Cause that was last July.
is that in town report as like a,
No.
no, okay.
You want to finish it, or just do it, just move on.
Right.
Okay, so just because there seems to be some confusion here, and I couldn't find it. I searched through my email, I couldn't find it. But I got an email about there's no tree warden of record for the town. And I think now that I've received a more recent email from Megan, it has to do with local emergency management plan, and I think that's where she's updating it, and it will get fixed there. But just because of that, I want to make a motion to reappoint Lauren as tree warden for the town. So that if I ever find this email, I can let them know it's been done.
Second.
All those in favor?
Fine.
Lauren can't vote, and I'm an aye, so that's 3 of us. Okay, the next thing is, in order to keep track, and I'm gonna go, you're gonna have to give me a couple minutes on this, cause I got more to say. In order to keep going on the Thayerbrook structure, we need to have this engineering done.
Hang on, Jesse, do we wanna do anything else on appointment of other people from those emails that you and I exchanged last week?
I don't think there's anybody left to appoint, right?
Okay,
Yeah, no, we just need to get answers, and if there's certain people that just will never, ever return an email,
Yeah.
I think that they need to be removed from those committees.
okay,
I don't disagree.
all right, got it, thank you, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's
Thayerbrook.
great. So we gotta do some engineering. Pat Ross and his company, former V-Trans guy, has given us an estimate of 23,000 to do all the engineering for over there. Between the structure. Well, the structure cost we don't pay for with the grant. But his $23,000 will be, once the grant is amended, covered under the grant for that project. So this will get paid for. And then the rest of the installation will get paid for once it's all done. So we need to, if anybody has any questions, you can ask me some questions, but otherwise we need to approve this so they can get started on the engineering work for the installation of Thayerbrook structure. I want to preface this by saying I emailed Michael Blakesley for an extension to the grant. And that was 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I never heard back. And then at the end of last week, I emailed him to say, hey man, I never heard from you. Did we get the extension? He informed me that he had to wait. I'll read it to you here. I've been asked to wait to submit the application for extension until we're closer to the expiration date. The town will receive a 1-year extension and the scope change to include the engineering. And then he asked for some documents that I'm gonna give him. I'm taking this to read, we will get the extension.
Yes,
Because as Jesse and I talked about it, if we don't do this, and then at the end of the expiration date being December, and we have no chance to work on it, we lose $200,000. And the full cost of the project falls on us.
I take that to mean that we have the, he says it, and he says it as a sentence in the email.
Yeah, and when I talked to him, he said it wasn't gonna be a problem. I just want everybody to know there is a marginal slim risk that this goes badly. I don't see that happening.
I feel like it's more of a bureaucratical reason for why they wait until closer to when you're supposed to decide.
Okay, and I don't disagree. I'm just sort of, I want everybody to have the full picture here. And I'll email him back to say, we talked about this last night. Or is this gonna fail and then we're on the hook for this money? He's not gonna obviously be able to tell me 100%, but I'd like some assurance that it's not gonna. But just so everybody knows, that's where that is. But in the meantime, we have to get the engineering done, and the sooner we can get him on that, presumably the better.
So 2 questions, the road gets closed during all this engineering.
No.
That says that,
Yeah, at
Okay.
times, but it won't be like
Okay.
for 3 weeks. He might have to like shut it down to do some surveying, but you're talking about really.
right, well, it says that
He'll just.
Thayerbrook Road through traffic will be closed for the construction period,
The construction period means the installation of the culvert.
but he's not doing that on this
No.
contract.
No,
But
No,
it says that's.
he's just doing like the
he's
site.
just sort of.
Using a form contract.
Yeah.
So, then the other thing is just, this is this thing that we've run into before. Once you start the job, we want you on the job until you finish the job. We don't want you doing a little bit and then going away for a
Yeah.
week and coming back.
Not with this guy, I don't think that's a problem. And also a lot of this is he's gonna show up and take some measurements and then go away and
Got it.
he knows the timeline. We're very clear on that. So he understands when and how it has to get done.
I mean, Chris, I had him do some hydraulic studies and I told him I need them done soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm going down. He came down and went through them. I got my paperwork and I went.
He's helped us out a couple times and he's
Great.
very experienced.
Mhm.
So I'm not too worried. Okay, so I'll make a motion that we approve the contract for Pat Ross to do the engineering, Pat Ross's firm to do the engineering. On Thayerbrook Road.
Second.
All those in favor?
Hi,
And my copy's stapled together. I'll sign another one sometime. New business. Okay, Paul, you're gonna have to help me with this one. Vote on naming me as the municipal authorizing official for the child care center grant. And then also at the same time executing what's called a PM1, which sort of memorializes that for the grant agreement that covers all these funds. Is that about right?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm not gonna be a part of that, so somebody else has gotta do that, and Paul can help you if you need wording for a motion.
Would anybody like help with work?
I move that we approve the, grant agreement resolution form PM1. Naming Daniel Gerson, our select board chair.
It's a municipal authorization.
As the authorizing official to execute the grant agreement and other such documents.
That sound right?
Sound perfect?
Sound, second.
No edits.
All those in favor?
All those in favor, sorry.
Aye.
You gotta do
Aye.
this next week, man.
I got 2 weeks to prepare.
Okay. So, or 2 weeks, sorry, not next week. Now we need to approve Ben Hill Brewery liquor licenses. We just approve them, you sign them, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anybody has to necessarily sign it.
I don't remember even voting on.
Oh, yeah.
That's
You
fine.
go online and
That's it, that's what I'm thinking of.
and click approved. So,
There's no changes or anything, right? It's just,
I abstained from this conversation.
well, I'm asking the question because I need the info. There's no changes.
There's no changes,
It's
no.
just the same license.
It's a
any stuff out.
We don't have it in our.
it's a manufacturing license and a beer and wine license.
Yeah, but nothing's, no, that's fine. And nothing's changed. It's the same one we viewed every year, as far as I know. Okay. Well,
And so it's for outdoor. Serving it outdoors is one of them. And then the other one is,
there's two.
there's two.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we approve the 2 liquor licenses for Ben Hill Brewery. No, don't worry about this.
Second,
All those in favor,
I. Abstain.
Abstain.
and Chelsea abstains. I can't imagine why. Okay, now is the one that I thought about like a month ago and forgot about it until Lauren texted me the other day. Green update plan. Yeah, which is May 3rd, right? May 2nd, May 2nd, Thursday, Sunday.
Wait a second.
What do we need for this? Did we switch back to a container from Casella's or do we throw it in the back of the truck last year? Anybody know?
Last year, we went back to a,
That way you guys don't have to take it to the dump and it costs more anyway.
Yeah.
So who's in charge of Green Update? It's usually Jackson.
oh. Well, Janice used to call around and get all the pricing, but, Jackson has tried to give it up and I meant to email him and I forgot. Let me see if.
I thought about texting him too. Can we-
Because he's already asked somebody else, as far as I know, and I'm not sure if they answered it.
Okay, so that was my next question. Is this something Grace can do for us?
It's not.
Okay. So we need somebody to sort of run.
No. Item down. What did I just say? He already asked somebody else to run
Right, you
it.
said you didn't know if they got a response.
Yes, so that's where
Let her
we
look.
started.
So do we need to worry about this at all, or are you doing it?
Well, yeah, because we need to know, is Warren taking it in his truck or does he want a dumpster? Are we doing tires? Who should call about tire removal from here and how much it's gonna cost? I
I
mean,
think
is
Dylan
that
usually calls on that,
right?
Yeah,
the K&N or whoever
we
it
got a
is.
bunch of tires on back of there.
Okay,
K&N.
one at a time. We got it. We had a dumpster last year. It worked
I
well
did
and
that.
it's cheaper.
Yes,
I think we should do that again.
yes.
Right? And did we do tires last
Yeah, it
year?
cost us like $800.
I
Because we
mean,
always ask for money and nobody,
Nobody.
and my suspicion is. If you don't do tires,
Throw them
there's
by the
no
road.
leave.
I think we should do tires. It's, you know, it's
Better than having them throw side of the road.
It's better than having them on the side of the road and it's an incentive and
On the bank, in the brook, wherever.
Can you call K&S then and see what this year's price is, or whatever it is? Okay,
So what else do we have to do?
Bags, which usually come from.
We have bags.
Oh, yeah, we had a lot last year, right? Is that what we had a lot of last year? There was one year where I feel like,
Have enough.
Oh, that's what-
State brings them around, drop them off.
Yeah.
right?
But we do have 2 boxes this year. They've been bringing us only 1,
Okay.
so.
Probably have enough. And then what happens? Do we distribute them here?
some of them go to elementary school, right?
Now, the person in charge of it, we have 1 box here and 1 box goes to the elementary school.
Yeah.
And whoever's in charge of it usually goes to the elementary school with like donuts or something.
So can we leave it like this, that if you hear from Jackson that he does not have somebody, then Jesse, you contact me. I will do it, but I'll just need to do whatever you tell me to do. Does that work?
Well, basically, if he's in charge of the tires, the only thing really left are the bags and the Casella's dumpster.
Mhm.
Which is just a phone call to Casella's to get it dropped off and picked up.
And that could be a lengthy call, because sometimes you get put on hold.
Okay,
Maybe
but let's
they
see
got
if there's a new person in the community who Jackson has recruited for it, I agree with you. But as soon as you hear back from him that,
So what do you?
No, I don't
you
have
get
anybody.
50 on the home, throw 'em out?
I'll just
You
take
can
it
replace
now.
them.
Was that seem efficient to you?
Fifties can make a million.
You gotta have it.
Yes, we can. We can talk
Crazy.
about it as soon as I find out.
Great, thank you.
There's a crazy amount of cans up through there.
Somebody
Oh
picked
my-
them up
They
down
didn't
there.
throw them out in the field so much, but man, when they got along the wood line.
And it's all the same kinds of cans.
Always.
We gotta let Paul get home. Jesse, you're good on green update planning?
We'll
That was done.
We're gonna circle back to it.
What's
Do you
that?
do a potluck lunch after it?
No.
No.
No, we're
Are
not.
you gonna do the?
No, you do a chicken barbecue.
We do a potluck at town meeting and that's about as far as our potlucks go.
Potluck.
Okay, now we're on to payment orders. We don't have payment order, but we have to approve the,
Payroll.
no, don't we have to approve the
Requisition.
payment to the,
Yes, thank you, you do. Oh my god.
Payment to,
okay,
You,
Oh, CC.
and just so
yeah,
everybody
that's
knows,
not who it goes to, it
No, it
goes
goes
to,
to- CD, who are they?
Community development.
approve the, BCDP grant payment.
Requisition.
Requisition, yeah, there you go, perfect, requisition number 3.
And just so everybody knows, for a little bit of background, Jesse and I have gotten a lot of emails this week. There are, what, 2 audits coming for us on this grant? There's a state check-in and then one more, and I forget the other one.
Yeah, I guess I haven't read that far to know that one.
There's 2, I'll forward it to you.
Is that because they're like officially open now? So in theory, like,
No, this is like a financial check-in.
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah.
It's just to make sure that the grant, it's more grant shit,
it's being used appropriately?
yeah.
we'll make
And it's
motion.
to make sure that every single freaking person that has their hand in it has the same exact paperwork. It's like, Jesus, if you go there and you look at the stuff and it says, pay me this much, and we pay them this much, wouldn't that all be fine?
I will find it, I think there's 2.
Did you say that it's requisition number 3?
That's correct.
I move that we approve VCDP grant requisition number 3.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
You guys don't see these emails, so you don't get as fired up as me and Jesse.
That what,
Yeah, I understand your frustration.
What I've gotta pull together for
I
my
do.
anniversary.
I'm going to the training or whatever the thing is.
For your anniversary?
Yes, they just pulled that date.
Yeah, we got nothing, we just got an email that said, we told you guys about this 30 days ago, we're doing, now get ready, cause in 30 days we're coming.
Move to approve 2 payroll warrants. One dated March 26, 2026 for the period March 8th through March 21st, 2026. The second dated April 8th for the period March 22nd, 2026 through April 4, 2026.
Aye.
I'll second. All those in favor,
Aye.
make a motion to adjourn.
No, one more thing.
Second.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
So I haven't started 10-hour days yet, but I'm gonna wait until after this next pay period, when did that?
And I have two things quickly.
What? We had citizens comment,
I'm gonna hurt
there's
you.
nothing on the agenda.
So, because it was difficult, for Steve to get on tonight,
Yeah.
because there was no link that could be found anywhere.
I thought it was on the agenda.
You couldn't click on it.
Oh, it's not a hyperlink.
Click on it.
That's that hyperlink we were talking about.
Oh my gosh!
Sorry.
Is there any way that we can just put on the front page a constant link or something?
Yeah. You're talking about on the agenda.
Or like,
On the front page.
like the main town website page.
Easy to find.
It's on the select board page. The same one that we have the minutes and the agendas on.
Or do you just want you want it there? Or you want it on the front page, like the front page of the website, right at the beginning?
I just want it somewhere where it's easier, where somebody who has no idea that I'm supposed to go to the freaking select board page, and then I'm supposed to go and find the agenda for tonight, and then I'm supposed to open the
Yeah.
agenda, and then I'm supposed to click on this little highlighted spot that won't click, and then I'm supposed to call somebody and get a
Oh,
freaking
the
number.
password, yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, and I think we should post the code. I don't think we should have people call in for their code.
Yeah, I don't think there's any like reason that we don't have
I
it
wondered
posted
that.
on there. I think the,
What is the reason that decision was made? Do you know?
yeah, because of that thing.
Oh, the spamming thing.
yeah, but the spamming happened when we had no password on it. And I don't think that's someone just like hacking like Zoom or whatever. It wasn't like someone's like, I'm gonna go mess with the Braintree select board. It's like literally some random person.
I've seen the password placed on other towns' web pages, like, so, I mean, yeah, if the bad guy, quote unquote, finds his way to there, he can get the password,
Right.
but most of them probably.
Right, they're specifically
Yeah.
seeking out
Yeah,
our select board then. It's not like a
He
random like.
signs up, he's gonna
In
leave.
that case, they can just call us
Right.
and say, what's the passcode? Because
Right.
we're not gonna not give it to you.
Right,
we-
exactly. If they were seeking us out, we wouldn't know
Can
anyway.
we
if they
put a
called.
banner or something at the top of the select board page that says to join regular
Yeah,
select board
we
meeting?
have two, one for the first of the month, one for the second meeting.
Yeah,
of the
cause they're
month.
two different.
And
Zoom.
I'll put them both up there, they have the same password, and we'll get them.
Okay, does that work?
Um,
And we'll try to fix the hyperlink in here.
and I've already-
And include the code on.
The other thing is, as we're.
On the agenda, thanks.
These people that we're hiring and contracting with and yada, yada, yada. We need to be sure that we do the, non-employee work agreement. We need to make sure that we have, insurance, coverage and everything else, and contracts if need be, because
Dean's worked for the town before, right?
yeah, but we need every year, we
Yeah.
need up-to-date ones signed every single year for the worker comp audit, cause that's gonna cost us $4,700 this year. And actually, the biggest reason is because the workers' comp audit was not completed last year. And,
Okay.
so the number that they used for the highway was not right.
Your
Just your desk.
Respect the desk.
So yeah,
Okay, can you,
gonna
how many things are there that everybody that works for us needs to turn in?
non-employee work agreement, liability insurance, and W-9s if we haven't ever paid them before, and contracts.
Can you send me that in an email
Yes,
so that I make sure that every time we go through this, we contact those people with it?
yes,
That'd be great. And I will make sure it happens.
that's
It's
it.
just like a packet that we have whenever we.
Yes.
And
Yes, which I've printed out a bunch to have in here, so.
Well, what I'm thinking is, let's put it on the back side of our standard contract. We need these 4 things or whatever,
Mhm.
big bold letters.
Yeah,
And
right,
we'll send one off to this guy when I sign this one.
okay.
Paul, can you help us with that? When you hear that we've approved a contract for for the engineer tonight, or for ACH, right? Is there a way that Paul could check with you do we have a W-9? Do we have insurance for these people? And if not, then can you work with us to contact those people to get that perfunctory stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll get with Jesse and we'll create
Alright.
some kind of form email or something to get it out to people. to say,
Okay,
You've entered a contract, this is what we need. Okay, now can I adjourn?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
wait,
And don't you dare.
second,
Oh, yeah, we're off the
All those in favor?
No,
aye,
Hold on.
call pay.
oh,
no,
sorry, Richard.
Stop recording.
oh, well, you got extra.
Well, you know,
Because I went
I could never see why it